Are you in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or even beyond, and are unsure on how to grow your money at each stage? Stick around. I've got a simple, decade by decade blueprint that might help you build lasting wealth. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, I'm Miss Wangui Muithathi, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'll be talking about wealth strategies that are tailored according to your life stage, from your 20s all the way through to retirement and even beyond. By the end of this video, you'll have clear action steps to start or refine your financial journey no matter where you are right now. So our first segment is when you're in your 20s. This is where you build a foundation. It's best when you start building your foundation in your 20s. So let's kick things off where most of us start. 1, you start budgeting and saving. You set up a simple budget tracking app or spreadsheet. At this point, you can also start building an emergency fund and aim at least 3 to 6 months worth your expenses. 2, if you've started taking debt, learn how to manage debt. Focus on paying off high interest loans fast. These are things like student loans or credit card loans. You can use debt avalanche or the snowball method. So between the two, pick one that you'll stick with. 3, you start investing. Even if it's 500 shillings a month or 5,000, it can grow over decades thanks to something like the power of compounding on your money. Okay? Start taking advantage of compound interest on your money. Look into low-cost index funds or something equivalent to that. At the same time, try your best to live below your means. Track every expense for a month, and this is because awareness is everything. When you know where your money is going, you'll be able to control it. Prioritize experiences. For instance, travel, learning over stuff. Now, let's go to your 30s or when you're in your 30s. This is where most people start a family and a lot of growth occurs in this category. As we all know, life pivots towards family and higher expenses. So focus on boosting your income, negotiate on your salary using market data. Okay, look around because you deserve a fair pay. Invest in courses or certifications, and if possible, launch a side hustle that is aligned with your passion. Okay, don't just start these side hustles and they're not aligning with your goals. They will slow you down. Another thing that you need to start doing is budget for family. Factor in things like childcare, schooling, and healthcare. Open or start a plan, something or a local equivalent for education savings. This really depends on where you are. Okay. Finally, in your 30s, you start protecting your assets. Buy term life insurance that covers your family's needs. And at the same time, draft a basic will. This is something that will cost you less than you think. So. Now, let's go to your 40s. This is where you focus on accumulation and refinement. In your 40s, you're highly likely at peak earnings. And this is the high time for you to start refining and supercharging your strategies. So you start by maximizing your retirement savings. Contribute up to employer match. Never, ever leave free money on the table. Rebalance your portfolio. Tilt gradually towards more conservative allocations. Okay. You also need to tackle remaining debt. If you have any high interest debt, eliminate it. At the same time, consider a low rate consolidation loan, especially if it simplifies payments. You also need to revisit your long-term plans. Things like early retirement, maybe you are into real estate, or even interested in traveling. Revisit all these and adjust accordingly. Do your research on real estate or rental properties, but only if you want to diversify. Now, let's go to when you're in your 50s, or if you're already in your 50s. This is more of transitioning and planning. By the time you're in your 50s, retirement is on the horizon, okay? So it's time to transition smartly. You do this by estimating your retirement needs. Use calculators to project how much you'll need monthly in retirement. And also, don't forget to factor in things like healthcare, inflation, and lifestyle. So, in your 50s also, start considering part-time or phased retirement. And this is because a gradual shift can ease the emotional and financial change. Finally, in your 50s, this is where you also downsize and simplify things. Start evaluating if a smaller home makes sense to you. Okay? This is because freed cash flow can boost your savings. Update your will and beneficiary designations to reflect current circumstances because things change over time. Okay? Maybe what you wrote on your will when you're in your 30s, things changed, so you need to update it. Finally, let's talk about when you're in your 60s and beyond. This is where you enjoy the fruits. When you're in your 60s, it's time to enjoy and protect what you've built. You also start managing retirement income. This is where you decide when to claim benefits and also plan tax efficient withdrawals. You also focus on long-term care and healthcare because you see now your body is not, you're no longer young. So investigate long-term care insurance or hybrid plans. Keep an eye on Medicare enrollment windows and supplement policies. And finally, leave a legacy. Update beneficiaries on all of your accounts and consider a donor advised fund or trust for philanthropic goals. Financial success is a journey that adapts to your changing needs and, of course, your priorities. So, by tailoring your wealth strategies to each life stage, it can help you build a financial foundation, grow your assets, and ensure a secure and more fulfilling future for you. Remember, financial planning is dynamic. So, periodically revisit your goals, adjust your strategies, and consult professionals as needed to help you be able to stay on track. Feel free to use this checklist or roadmap. But at the end of the day, with thoughtful planning and disciplined execution, you can navigate each decade confidently, turning life's transitions into opportunities for growth and security. I am Miss Wangui Muithathi, your personal finance and investment coach, and I'll see you in my next video.